It is 11:02 a.m. We'll officially begin this special meeting of the Lake County Board of County Commissioners. The agenda item today, yeah, that's pulled up. Sweet, thank you, Andy. Agenda item number 1, acknowledgement of the receipt of the proposed 2026 budget for Lake County government, led by Candace Bryans, County Manager.
Just gonna make this a little bigger, this is quite tiny. Alright, so this will be posted with the clerk and recorder's office for public inspection. Now that this is done, Will and I will freeze the preliminary budget, and Tyler, that means no more preliminary budget adjustments can be made, but we can continue to make adjustments towards the final budget, which we'll adopt on December 11th. Main things we'll be doing between now and the final budget are getting you guys to vote on the mill. And once you guys vote on the mill, that could change, allocations depending on what you vote on. So revenues would be based on whatever mill you vote for. Other items that could change are the due to, due from. All of our money comes into Patrick and the treasurer's office, and a lot of it comes into the general fund. So an example would be $750,000 for the ambulance service. That would get transferred to the ambulance fund. So eventually you'll see a due to, due from the general fund to the ambulance fund. And Will and I will go back and budget every one of those budget transfers. So you'll see that added to the final budget, because we'll need to show that those transfers will happen and then they actually happen in real life, so you can track budget against actuals. For this year's prelim budget, very bottom, our over under is we have about $667,000 left. We have a few more payroll items to work through, so we know it'll take up some of this overage. But this is kind of where our budget shakes out for this fiscal year.
And to be clear, this budget was created on a 40 mil.
Yes.
On a what mill?
40.
40, so at the very top.
No, that's not.
We are currently at
41.99.
We're currently at 39.5. So this budget has been created with an assumed increase of the mill, 0.5.
I will say that what we found every year in the historic past that I've been able to look at is we've had a budget that didn't quite capture all of our true expenses, and then we end up supplementing the budget almost to about this anyways.
Right.
And this budget, I think, it doesn't mean that things aren't gonna come up that we don't plan for, or like a cool project that you guys wanna take on.
Yeah.
That you decide on in the future, but for the most part, we've really been conservative with like our sales tax estimates. It could be better than we have in here, I don't know. But just looking at the market, try to be incredibly conservative and not like say we're gonna get tons of sales tax if we don't know that we really will. So this has been pretty conservative in terms of revenues, and also have really held people to budgeting for what we've seen them do in the past. So if there are areas where we've seen them, not salaries so much, but if there are areas where we've like seen them have $1,000 budgeted for training but haven't spent $1,000 in years past, or if they budgeted $5,000 for training in the past but only spent $100, we said, do you really need $1,000? So it seems like no, you do not. So we really kind of went through with every department and looked at what did you budget the last 2 years, what did you actually spend the last 2 years, and then help them to, hey, this makes sense for next year. If you keep budgeting funds you didn't spend, you're not getting them back in that same way. So that is what I have for you guys. This is in the packet. You can look through the whole thing. I gave you every line item in our entire budget here, and that's what we're posting with the clerk as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think what we need acknowledge
receive it?
the receipt. Looking at Matt over here.
Yeah, I mean, the budget has to be submitted to you all by October 15th. Just an acknowledgement that was submitted to you today.
Great job, Candace and Will,
Yes.
Thanks.
everybody.
Thank you, Will, really.
I move to acknowledge receipt of the preliminary budget for 2026.
I'll second.
To a vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright. Are we using the verbiage preliminary?
Yeah.
It's
It's
preliminary.
proposed,
So
right?
you'll have a public hearing in December.
Okay, cool.
And then it'll be, up for public review here for the next, whatever,
2
month,
months.
2 months, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's preliminary.
For the little additional information for the November 4 public meeting, we'll probably work with you guys to get some of those final pieces in, make sure that feels good and then try to put together dashboards. We'd like to have a couple of dashboards on open tablets and laptops so that when people come, they can actually be interacting and looking through those instead of like no one wants to read 63 pages of line items, doesn't really paint a great picture. But try to really do some data visualization so people can actually be clicking through some interactive charts and graphs.
Is that meeting still at 12 or do
I believe it's,
That's the evening of the fourth. Our regular meeting has been rescheduled
yeah,
to
that's
the third.
the evening, sorry.
Alright, my apologies.
No, that's fine.
It's just the town hall. That's
Yeah,
all.
the town hall is the eve that night.
Sorry Candace, can you be really specific about what you need from us for that?
I don't think anything, your attendance would be lovely.
Yeah,
If
we'll
you
be-
want to run through anything before we're in there and ask me questions, we can set up a one-on-one, each of us to run through things so that way you can be informed.
Cool.
To be answering questions would be great.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yes, please.
When do we have to decide on the mill rate?
That's December 11th.
December
And then the
11th.
final budget has to be adopted December 15th. So that will give Will and I roughly 4 days to re-enter those things, so.
But we have it on our calendar for it to be the 11th.
Yeah.
To actually vote for it.
Yeah.
And so if the mill levy goes up, you would redo the budget and increase the budget, or would you leave it the same? And-
If you guys change the mill, we have to build our budget on whatever you vote on. So
Okay.
if you guys vote for something different, we'll adjust the revenues to be what you vote on.
Yeah,
Will Tyler automatically repopulate the numbers, or do you guys have to go in and do that like?
We can
line by
go
line?
in and just reset the revenue lines, which is great.
Okay.
We don't
It's
have
not
to
the
start
whole
all
thing
over.
that changes, it's just the
Yeah.
revenue that we're changing.
Yeah.
Just
It's
the
just the revenues that come from mill, like our sales tax amount won't change, it's just based on what you guys vote on.
Okay.
And then before the 31st of December, I'll certify the mills for every entity in the county, so everybody else, like the school, they'll be voting on their mills, Mark will get all those mill sheets back, the mill sheets will be certified, and then Will and I will certify the mills with DOLA for everybody in the county. By the 31st.
And when do you think you'll know like as we go through this process, what are some of our other opportunities to like have our work sessions to talk about the budget?
You can schedule whatever you want.
Okay,
In addition
nothing
to
is,
what no, there's nothing else other than like where we're at now. We can schedule whatever you guys need to ask questions, or
Okay.
if you wanna wait to get feedback from people who are reviewing it. Might be nice to have a little bit of time for that.
what kind of timeline is that? What do you mean, who is reviewing that?
So anyone can review our proposed budget, it's posted with the clerk.
You mean the public?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. It's not
Yeah.
like it's been sent out to other community members or the
Oh,
or
no,
the
no, no,
department
no.
heads to receive feedback on
It's
that.
publicly posted on our
Yeah, yeah.
website, and we also we have posted on our website a QR code so people can give feedback. And then we statutorily have to post it with the clerk, and so we just gave it, that's what Sandra was walking over there, was the copy for the clerk and the QR codes for people to give input back to you guys about the budget. So it might be nice, if we're gonna do any future work session, to let people have time to give some feedback.
Awesome. Great, I feel like the three of us need to calendarize what days we wanna have work sessions on the budget. So we can get that on the books. Do you wanna do that now or do it with Sandra when we have our next?
What are you hoping to get in budget work sessions in addition to what we've done so far?
I think a chance for the three of us to actually discuss what we would want to see cut or added to, or how we would want to increase the mills, and if we did, what would we spend it on? Like, the actual conversations that need to be had around the three of us and the budget. What would you guys want out of that?
December 15th, it's due.
But December 11th is the date that we actually have on the books to make the decision.
And then that's the mill certification day as well, right?
Yeah.
Well, let's give it 2 weeks, see what people, see if, anybody looks at it and gives us some feedback.
And then November 12th? November 12th is the day that we have for the community to ask
So,
for funds.
yes,
That's
and
the 12th, isn't it?
we budgeted at the same amount we had last year is the total amount to give, but you guys can certainly change it if you want to, I think. Sorry, I'm shooting from the top of my head, got a lot of numbers, I think it was 100,000 last year.
I'm just saying there's a date on
Yeah.
which we are receiving requests from
Yes.
the public. And I believe that's November 12th.
Yeah, let's do it after then, 12th,
Okay.
13th, something like that.
Great.
Make a note of all the out of offices, looks like, a lot of people are gone Thanksgiving week. I'm gone the 4th through the 10th. 11th is Veterans Day.
So really it's November 17th to 19th.
Yeah, or November 13th, 12th, 13, 14 to the 19th. Somewhere in there.
Okay.
Does that sound good to you, Nick?
There's the 13th and 14th, I am out at the CCAT fall retreat.
Oh, who's that?
It's down in Denver.
So,
So 17th, 18th, 19th, I'm writing to Sandra.
yeah, 17, 18, 19.
Okay.
19 would probably be,
Oh, I'm looking at October, I'm like, why are we doing this all weekend?
Oh girl, smash it on your chest. Put it on your.
Upside down, upside down,
Okay.
upside down.
It's just the keyboard.
Look at Matt, Matt's got a tissue.
I'm gonna take it from you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just the keyboard, you've got a different situation.
I thought it was a spider.
No, I would have screamed.
November 17th, 18th, 19th. And how long, I think it'd be great for us to have two, since this is our first time doing it. Have an initial conversation, be able to ruminate on it, be able to sleep on it, be able to understand what we're even talking about, and then come back to it.
Well,
You guys okay with that?
if we're gonna change it, we gotta give Candace and Will time to
Yeah,
amend it, so.
I mean, there's some
So-
things that really we can't change, like the payroll pieces are built on humans that exist, so those would
No,
be,
you get it.
you know.
Yeah,
I'm saying the 17th and then the 19th again. Just so we can have chance to.
Yeah.
I'm wide open 18th between 3 and 6. I would like to avoid the 17th. Then 19th looks pretty sweet.
Okay, so we'll do one on the 18th and one on the 19th. Awesome, thanks guys.
How long are each work session?
I think,
Can we just put, I don't know why it traditionally seems like there's problems with it, but can we get a description in the calendar invite of what our goals are for this? Like we're talking about, we're going over the commissioner's side of budget things, of like where we wanna, you said where we wanna make cuts and where we wanna add to. I know we need to come up with, our allocations to local nonprofits, how we're gonna divvy that up.
I'm kind of hoping to have the whole conversation before we actually need to make the decision. So that we're giving ourselves enough time to have the conversations, to do our research, to inform ourselves. And see the whole picture since we're so new at this. And to not leave it all till December 11th, to have all those conversations. When we're really getting down to it and they have to add all the changes that we're proposing and.
Right, okay. My only reluctance is that with us being so new to this, I worry, and I think as long as we can keep this in mind while we're in these meetings, that things that might make sense to us three at this table might not be as awesome for the rest of the building, so,
That's why I wanna give us time to be able to have the conversation, maybe we mess up. And then the next day we can be like, okay, no, now I'm understanding that's not the right decision. And then 2 weeks later, be like, okay, this is the decision I'm actually going to make.
alright,
So we can kinda be a little messy about how we're thinking about it.
Makes sense to me also. Let's line it up.
What's your hesitation, Wendy?
just what I touched on before about being a destabilizing element, like this, it's been such a heavy lift. There's been so many improvements made, I have like a lot of faith in staff and what they're doing and the changes that they're making. Not that we shouldn't have voices, and I have utmost respect for your position on that. My concern is that we add elements that hinder the process operationally and, you know, efficiency wise, because we're coming from a place of not having spent as much time knee deep in it.
Well, I guess what I'm giving ourselves time to do is to get deeper into it. And part of the conversation we need to have is about the mills.
Yeah,
If we're raising it to staff level and no higher, that's a conversation we need to have. If we've been proposed other needs from the community, are we gonna go higher? If there are projects that our staff aren't considering or building in that we really wanna see happen, we have to put money towards it. So that's where I think we have a lot of conversation to have.
that's a good point.
It's not only where staff has brought up us, I think it's fabulous, clearly a lot of work has been done. But like, this is the meat of our job, and I
Yeah.
wanna give ourselves enough time
And
to
it's
do it and learn it as we go.
It's a work session, we're not gonna be
It's just
making
a work
decisions in it, so anything that can inform and arm us with knowledge and, part of that, as long as we remember to have that lens of like, what might seem like a really good idea to us could have a really destabilizing effect on the hard work that's already been done.
Yeah.
I'll bring that, I'll remember to have that on the table with what we're talking about. We do need time to talk about the mill levies, so you're right.
And we'll bring like some of the bigger capital requests, like the library was a capital request, the roof, there's a hole in it, so I put that in the budget, cause I don't get to run the building with a hole in the roof.
Yeah.
Like I have to fix that, but
Yeah.
there's some big things like the landfill, which we hope we get money for, that like that was a capital request, but I sure didn't put a $3 million landfill in our budget this year, there's no way, but those things will come to you guys to figure out, and that's like part of in helping you get ready to make the mill decision, like what else do you wanna fund? You know, how much do you, I mean, we put in 100,000, I think, it's either 100 or 110 for nonprofits. Nonprofits will present to you, and then after that, in a different meeting, you'll have some time to think about who you wanna give what.
Does this,
But you guys will have to make some decisions about things that we didn't put in here, like we did put our best, like, hey, this is what we need to cover. But then that's where you guys have the decisions to make, like, what other things would you want to cover? You know, and some really big capital requests that aren't like crucial, like the roof, we put in there because we realized we have to put something over the hole in the roof versus big things that we are a decision, those get punted to you guys to figure out what is the plan, or if we can't do a $3 million landfill, what would you wanna put towards it? Like maybe we put a certain amount aside every year to work towards, like, I don't know, that's really you guys.
Right.
Determining those pieces, now that kind of the baseline of like, this is what we need to
Operation.
cover and operate, and then everything else is kind of you guys to figure out.
So I'm requesting 2 hours for the 18th. It's okay if we don't use up the whole thing, but just to block it off. And then I'm requesting 3 hours for the 19th. Again, it's okay if we don't use the whole thing, but just in case.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
fine.
that sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah.
and are there anybody, any,
What's your 3 hours on the 19th? What? Oh, you're not
I'm
taking
asking
specific
Sandra to
times,
look
okay,
at all of our
gotcha.
schedules.
Yeah.
Other than Candace and Matt Hobbs, are there any specific people you want to come to these? It's one of the things Sandra asked us for.
Can I have Will join us, even if
I
it's
was-
just
Yeah.
When does the nonprofit, when do they so they present to us on the 12th?
Yeah.
It'll be the week before.
sorry, I think I
The
keep
week
saying the
before.
11th, cause it's the Tuesday.
But we don't make the decision during that meeting, they just present and give us their ask. And then we try and fit it in that $110,000.
Yeah, it's just, that's a separate meeting, the
Really,
actual
anybody in the
allocation.
community can make those asks, not just
Yeah.
nonprofits.
Yeah, okay.
We did send out this week a letter to everybody on our nonprofits list to say, hey, if you're wanting to get scheduled for that day, let us know so we can get you scheduled. And we did that this week, so they would know
That's awesome.
ahead of.
Other than Will, anybody else?
You want anybody else here, Candace?
I might have Rachel and Joshua join just so they can be listening and learning about the budget process, cause they'll have departments that they'll be working with to manage their budgets, understand their budget to actual reports every month, which I think those get sent out, I don't know how much they get looked at, but start to help people be looking at their budget monthly and understanding those pieces a little bit better, so if you guys don't mind, even if it's just to learn,
Yeah.
they're on here.
That's great. Okay.
Apologize for the chair comfort.
I didn't pour my own.
There's one here,
A,
Rachel. if
dress
you
for
wanna-
summer, B, bring your own chair.
Yeah.
Okay, requested, thanks everybody.
Yes.
Good job, Elsa.
Thank you, Matt.
Let's bear down on this thing.
Let's do it,
Great job, really.
seriously.
I think it's the best, not knowing too much about it, seems like it's the most time ever put in on a budget.
Oh, easily.
in this.
I have no idea, it wasn't
Most
the last
effective
two,
time.
but the fact that we're not doing all of these things, like refining everything at the last minute feels lovely. I hate last minute things.
And you're not too audits behind,
Yeah.
so huge.
So what, this will mark a kind of monumental shift in operations, instead of like all this house, like cleanup and
Yeah,
going back, fixing, like, what's everybody gonna do for the first half of
honestly, and
26?
then when we're done recovering our sleep.
Well, the job has traditionally been fixing all the
Oh.
mistakes,
In finance, yeah,
so,
we'll have to close out 2025. Yeah, funny to do. Okay, second thing,
I was thinking like kiddie pools and water slides and parties in the annex.
I'm just like sleep.
I love it. Do you wanna go to our second thing, maybe?
Agenda item number 2, discussion and consideration of a PSA with Kumar and Associates Incorporated for geotechnical services for the courthouse renovation project. Led by Matt Hobbs, County Attorney, and Candace Bryant's County Manager.
I can give you what I know of it, it's for the geotechnical services. I think we talked about it earlier, that they needed to get this drilling done by November 1st, which maybe they didn't, but anyway, it's a relatively simple contract. I don't know that there's a dollar amount tied to it, but it should, I think it's an hourly rate for geotech as part of the courthouse renovation. We haven't got comments back from Kumar yet on the PSA, cause it was all a little bit last minute, so if you do approve it, just recommend you approve it subject to final legal review.
With so many components in this courthouse renovation, so many different aspects of it. I'm gonna apologize for asking this, but what is the geotechnical services encompass?
To understand what our building is sitting on.
Right.
So as
What's
we're
under our
doing,
feet?
so as we're doing renovations and that we understand what we're actually drilling into.
It's also, as I understand it, part of the compliance for the grant.
Yeah.
So we have to,
Okay,
if we want the grant, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And they were like, it probably isn't necessary because this building hasn't shifted in 70 years,
yeah,
but you have to do it.
that's,
I will say that it's been really great to have Stuart really on board, so Stuart is an engineer and also a licensed insurance person in Colorado, and it's been really great because as these people come up where we have options, like really having him review those from that lens and also say, hey, if he sees something that feels like, oh, we might not need that, here's another option, and exploring it with our owner's rep has been really great, and a big reason, Michael's got a lot of historical knowledge. We've really got Stuart on all of those meetings as well, so that a lot of the technical pieces, they can also be having some input to say, have we thought about this idea? And just getting to work alongside our owner's rep and our architect of record to make sure that we have a say in what we would spend, or like our survey that you guys approved, the contract for them was last week. I reached out to the surveyor directly and asked for reduction in rates, and was able to work with people to stay within the very tight budget we have. So we are, as we do these things, really trying to, where we can, say, hey, is this an option if we know that we could get the same result but not spend as much? And then any of these items are being coded to that courthouse renovation fund. You guys did a supplemental at the beginning of the year. I think we either put $250 or $350 in it from the general fund. Maybe it was $250. Nevertheless, that's what all of this stuff is being paid out of. And in the budget I just showed you, I did budget a little bit of general fund money in the courthouse reno fund to keep paying until you guys want to touch the COP, which I felt like that was the direction you guys had given, was we don't wanna touch the COP just yet. So so we aren't and have budgeted, to cover some of these kinds of things until we get to that no doubt for touching the COP.
Okay.
Cool, well, I would move to approve the PSA with Kumar and Associates for geotechnical services for the courthouse renovation project pending legal review.
Seconded.
to vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great.
Okay.
Well, with that, it's 11:31, we will conclude this special meeting in the Lake County Board of County Commissioners. Thank you, staff, thank you, commissioners, thank you, Andy, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.